that this wasn't your tribe, that these weren't your people. You alchemized that energy because I'm sure it was sad. And for once, you did not follow your heart because your heart ached and wanted to pour out more love. But you realized that there was no reason for this evil eye, but there was all this tension. So, not having boundaries wasn't going to work. Yeah, you had to transmute a lot of hateful energy. Here's what I'm seeing. And this is what happens when you don't have boundaries, is you can start not following your heart. You could forget who you are. You could get so caught up in the negative energy that you lose that love towards what you want to do, or like your passion, which is attached to your heart chakra energy. And I feel like for once you had to tame. It's like you had to follow your heart, but also not follow your heart, because I feel like your empathy was leading you astray a bit. Because and not everybody deserves this. They just don't. They're gonna exploit it. Okay, and then you're gonna be left on empty. So these weren't your people. Kin in reverse. November could be significant. November 18th, November 21st, November 17th. Somebody could be born in 73 or be 37, or 81, or 71. Somebody could be life path 3, 9, 8, 11, 2, or 1. Yeah, it's like there was nothing to celebrate here, or this was a cancel. Spirit didn't want you to celebrate with these people. They didn't deserve to celebrate with you. Okay? Because they weren't, it's like, these are the types of people that can't celebrate your wins. And it's like you were celebrating them, and you were celebrating their wins. And that made the Most High really sick to their stomach, is what I'm getting. So, yeah, like, for once, you trusted that these just aren't your people. And that's fine. They're not meant to be. Okay. So let's see. Kin in reverse. So when this comes out in reverse, you could have had a hard time, or could be having a hard time differentiating between who is for you and who is not, Capricorn. So you could have found yourself repressing your instinctive sentiments, knowing you'd be critiqued or shamed for them, or just not reciprocated. Wishing to feel more loved by your support group. Longing for the day where you can live unapologetically and be revered unconditionally. It's possible that you weren't seeing eye to eye with these people, and that there was an underlying issue here. So in order to maintain positive relationships with yourself and others, you must truly believe in the people you say you trust. Who can you count on? Who can you run to? Who will pour into you when you have nothing left to offer them? Who will make sure to never make you feel guilty in times of need, or turn you away, or ignore you? So I feel like, for some of you, you could have found yourself in a situation where it was really hurtful, because like you would have been there for these people or this person, only to be turned away by the person that you thought appreciated your connection. But they actually really didn't appreciate your presence. They appreciated what came with that. So something was like, the intentions were off or something like this. Yeah. So for once, you tamed the longing of your heart, the ache to fix, and you transmuted this. And you allowed people to behave as they do organically and observed instead of absorbed. Yeah. And I feel like it's a celebration now because you saved your ass, you dodged bullets, you saved your ass a lot of time pouring into the wrong people and instead transmuting it into something beneficial for the world or for yourself. Maybe something creative, whatever it is. It's way more positive than trying to appease hateful, prideful people. Okay? That don't even see your value. It's because they're not meant to. They're not part of the higher echelon, y'all. Okay? I'm sorry, love. But he relieved you of himself. That's how you have to look at it. He didn't abandon you. He freed you. Okay? Because he was only going to torture you because he didn't appreciate you. And the Most High forces disconnections that sometimes feel very painful, y'all. Sometimes we don't understand them at the time. Sometimes they shatter you to the core and you don't know like how you're gonna even be okay. But if you change your perspective, because a relationship that has real love, even though it might have felt or appeared as love, if it was real love, you wouldn't be shattered. Okay? At least not when there's other options. It's like somebody wouldn't choose to shatter you when there's the option to love you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and it's really, it is that simple. But when you've been gaslighted or used or misled to believe something else for so long, it's so hard to, it's like your brain feels scrambled and it's too hard, it's too hurtful to face it at first. But that's where the healing starts, because somebody that truly loves you and has the option to do that wouldn't choose to shatter you. And if they did, they would work their ass off to fix it somehow. Do you know what I mean? It's really just that simple. Because unfortunately, love, it's not even personal. It was probably what he could get out of you. He probably just lives to consume instead of co-creating like a partner would. And when he realized, he wasn't feeling it anymore, like he couldn't get more out of you, or maybe you were having expectations that they couldn't meet, then it became not fun anymore, and they dip out, and then you see who they really are. Sadly, it's not that they changed. They were always that way. And they wanted something from you. Some people like to attach themselves to stronger energies, more inspiring energies than themselves, because it makes them feel like, powerful, or like they can get somewhere, or they like to show it off for all the wrong reasons, whatever it is. Unfortunately, it's hard to decipher too, because a lot of people know how to mask pretty well. That's why you have to pay attention to your intuition. You're built in with instincts. It's just all of us have been so damn domesticated. And, if you're a kind sap like myself, you don't want to believe that people can be cruel like that. It's hard to get to that. It's like you want to believe anything else first. Because it's so uncomfortable. But the quicker that you can get there, it's like, I'd rather rip the Band-Aid off, y'all. Fucking rip that shit off, make that skin raw, get it, just hurt me brutally, with the truth so I can get back into alignment. I don't have time for this shit anymore. It's like, you know, it's like one thing that I can't stand is the disrespect that comes with people wasting my time. As if my time on earth, which is a currency that cannot be traded, replicated, you know, it's the most valuable currency on earth. What do you mean? And you're just taking it as if you're entitled and then doing with it negatively, spitting in my face. Oh no. No. You need to realize as quickly as you can when people aren't for you, y'all. And you'll be able to see if you pay attention to the actions. It's not about how good it looks on paper or how charming they sound. Do the actions match the words? There always is some red flags, even if they're subtle. Pay closer attention this time and have stronger boundaries. Higher standards have a higher probability of higher value experiences. All right? You're not a dick or an asshole if you have standards. Okay, so don't let anyone make you feel guilty for having standards. You know, don't give anyone free passes. If they said that they were going to do something and they didn't, that's a no. If you heard something that was really off or it was really hurtful out of nowhere and it felt like it was out of character, it's probably because it is their character. They just slipped. You got to pay attention. You know what I mean? And it's painful, yo. It's sad. But once you've been hurt badly enough, yo, like I'm talking real bad, like to the point where you almost just wanted to quit type shit, you toughen up real quick, yo. You don't have time to get hurt ever again like that because it's like life or death. And you start to realize how much time you've wasted in your life trying to appease people that didn't care or appreciate you. And it's not personal. It's because they're unhealed. It's because they're disconnected. It's because they don't have the heart that you do and you can't expect them to. So be grateful. View it as a blessing that somehow you were awakened to the truth, because how cringe is it to be in some kind of fantasy land thinking that you're with your person, your soulmate, but they're actually a predator that's just like feeding you nothing but bullshit, and they were always going to hurt you when they had a choice to be kind. And you don't want that person, no matter how attached you might feel. Fuck that. Okay, that's all I have to say. Fuck that. It's not a loss, it's a blessing, I swear. Please believe me. Cry, move through that fear and those emotions. It is a blessing, because that is creepy and disgusting and gross. All right? And the Most High didn't create you to live that life. They don't want you stuck in that. But you have to awaken to the truth. And some people aren't strong enough because it's brutal. It's like the ultimate ego death that, like, what the fuck? But it's not that you were in your ego. It's that you really believed it. But it still crushes your ego, because it's like you have to contend with the fact that you believed something that wasn't real. But it felt like, why? So what does that say about you, right? Not saying it's your fault, but you gotta sharpen up and toughen up and strengthen up, because if you stay in a victim mentality for forever, then somebody's rewriting your story and you're their victim. Instead, you can say, no, I was victimized and I got myself back the frick up and I realign back on my path because I write my story. And that wasn't supposed to happen and I didn't deserve it. But it's not going to end the rest of my story. The fuck? No. There's that's not up to them. That's between me and the Most High. They're gonna get their karma for interfering. You know what I mean? So, let's see, y'all. All right, what is money and career looking like for Capricorn? Now through first week in November. Thanks, guys, for the hearts in the chat and the gifts. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you're following your girl. Glad if you're resonating with these reads. All right, let's see. Ooh. Wow. Somebody's going to have clarity on some kind of long-term investment that they want to make. They're going to have some kind of bright idea here. Or maybe you already have. This is your confirmation that it's a good idea and it's going to be a long-term thing. Okay. Maybe there's going to be some wave of inspiration, a new idea for a new income source. Some of you guys could have a natural knack for entrepreneur energy, or you might be open to a new job, new gigs, maybe something creative for some of you. Or somebody could realize that they want to spend their life with you and marry you by first week in November, Capricorn. Or you could. Yeah, somebody's going to realize and have clarity that they want to make a long-term investment, whether in a partnership, in a fulfilling career or purpose or line of work or creative idea, something like this. This is very positive energy. And these types of ideas are gifts from the universe. These are blessings. Okay? And it's going to pan out. And you're not going to need any more tools either. You're going to have all the tools. So, take it how it resonates. That's awesome. Let me just drink some more of you. Very good stuff. Yes. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. And if you're a Cancer, that's your opposite sign, so that also works. You could still get a message in here if, because Capricorn stands for like reputation, career, achievement. So if that is something that you're going through, you could get messages here still. Yeah, y'all. So, Capricorn, killing it. All right, let's see. Before we jump into the tarot, is there anything else for Capricorn, please? What is going on? What other messages? Oops. What other messages for Cappy? Ooh. Innocence, holiness, purity, virtue, exactly. That has to be protected. Doesn't belong around predators, y'all. It belongs around healers and protectors. Yeah. Follow energies that are pure. That's where the prosperity is. Wow. That's direct. That's amazing. Exactly. That's the lesson that you're learning. The book. Wisdom. Experience. You were dealing with manipulation around you. Okay. Spirit wants you to reject anything that differentiates from purity. Okay? Because it won't turn out to be terrific. Not for you. You're too innocent and precious. Spirit doesn't want that for you. Specifically, when you're dating, you need to pay attention to this. And ignore manipulation. Okay? And the way to do that is pay attention. Yeah, because it's going to lead to chaos if not. Instability. And that's where the blessings are stripped from you. Okay? So this is the lesson that you had to learn, that you can't save everybody, you can't be liked by everybody, you can't connect with everybody, You can't get people to see you when you're not meant to be seen by them because they don't appreciate it anyway. You need to reject anyone at the first sign of manipulation. You need to just set a huge boundary, save yourself time. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. You'll deal with the attachment later. But you'll get better and better at it the more you trust your intuition and the more you pay attention to what people stand for at their core. Like, are they integral? Are they a person that will just throw people under the bus to benefit? Are they somebody that talks about people when people leave the room? Gossips about people to you? Because if they do that, they gossip about you too. Pay attention. Do they honor their word? Do they care about your feelings and hold space? Do they inquire about the inner workings of your mind? Do they... Because, you know, a mask of admiration could feel like love if you're not paying attention, but it's actually just jealousy and using you for clout. Little do you know. Let's just say. Trying to get access to your network, or using you to make somebody else jealous, or trying to, worst case scenario, destroy your innocence. Just corrupt you. But that's all going to take you off your path, and then you're not going to get your prosperity. And you deserve wealth, good luck, blessings, and abundance here. Yeah. So especially when dating, look for long-term commitment. If that's not what time somebody's on, don't even waste your time. Do you know what I mean? Like, bye. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time to try to change your mind either. Don't have time. My time is too valuable. That's what Spirit wanted you to learn. It's not you that's losing. Losing a genuine person is always the other person's loss, I promise, because they're so rare. Okay? So if somebody doesn't see the value in that, that's their mistake. Okay? Then they manipulated themselves out of a blessing. And that's their problem. Alright, so let's see. We're going to tap into the tarot to finish off your reading. Okay. Capricorn. This is an awesome read, though. I think it's good. I feel like, you know, you had to learn how cruel the world really is. Like, you know. But I feel like this is going to make sure, yeah. And how greedy people are. And how they want to hold you back. Because of their own emotional baggage. But I feel like you learned that this, like, literally could have derailed your entire destiny. Seriously. So let's see. Holy Spirit, holy angels, archangels, ancestors, and the Most High, calling on you to channel your ancient wisdom, your guiding light, your strength, your clarity, with intention towards our blessed North Node. Please help me bring forth the most important messages for my Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, now through first week in November. Clear, concise, and precise. I will interpret these messages from the heart, from the soul. Any negative energy interference, please return. Aw, thank you so much for the gift, love. I appreciate you. And on behalf of the collective and myself, we love you, we thank you, we trust you. Okay, so somebody's dealing with some bad karma here. They went the wrong way with something. They went against the flow of the universe, or they did something that was way out of bounds. Bad karma. Yeah. This could have to do with interrupting somebody's stability or harmony, their peace. You know, it could have to do with gratitude, a canceled celebration, maybe somebody's leaving home, or this could have to do with a problem with the property. Yeah, somebody's going through some bad karma because they did something foul, and maybe they're finding themselves in a place that they have to either leave or that they don't feel safe, like at home in, or they could be losing a home. Oh, this could have to do with somebody's wise counsel, their spiritual beliefs, their faith, their moral requirements. Could have to do with marriage. Ooh. This is a tower for a bitter, devoid of emotion, heartless hoe here. Has to do with the relationship. Somebody wants to get married, so they're kicking somebody out and they're telling them how it's gonna go. And now it's a catastrophe, it's a huge shakeup. Because now somebody else's stability is rocked. But the way that they got this stability was probably through manipulation and lies and foul play. So this is what they deserve. This is probably a backfire or something. Yeah, has to do with the Two of Cups. Somebody not wanting to see something about a Two of Cups. Yeah. Somebody's liberating themselves. They want out of a nightmare because they're caught. They couldn't get away with something with a group of people here. Due to the fact that somebody here couldn't end something for someone else. Exactly. That's that energy I'm talking about. So this was dependent on betraying somebody else, innocent. I'm assuming you, Capricorn, put yourself where you fit. Yeah, they celebrated too soon. They're not going to end the celebration. For some of you, this could be a toxic matriarch energy. They wanted you to have misfortune. It could have had to do with what you do for work. They didn't want to see you reach your full success. But they're in regret because it's only ending up that they're taking losses that they wished on you. They're getting left out in the cold. And they're running into their resources getting hit. Or somebody is realizing the truth and not wanting to work with them. Yeah, somebody's standing up for themselves. This is because somebody's like protecting themselves from some kind of conflict or chaos. Yeah, you set a hard boundary, or somebody's standing up for themselves, fighting for themselves. There's a lot of opinions, egos, competition here. Somebody's not dealing with it anymore. Yeah, because they're putting the work into to a pure relationship with themselves, with the partner, put it where it fits. Somebody wants to put the work in to a marriage or a high level of commitment that requires pure energy. The power of the spirit. Somebody's working on this because they're realizing they're part of a dysfunctional family dynamic and this is not a dream come true, and there's no emotional support and it feels like an empty home. And maybe you taught this person something, or this could be you. That's what the strength is. Yeah. Somebody was a player. They were indecisive because they were like in competition with you, or because there was chaos or conflict. And maybe instead of dealing with it and setting boundaries and asserting themselves, they avoided conflict and yeah, they got pushed around or something. But it looks like a King of Wands is taking back control of his life, and he's determined, and they're being